Good afternoon, everyone. Am I clearly visible and audible to all of you? All of you can make use of the chat box because you will not be able to unmute yourself. So just a confirmation, say okay in the chat box if I am clearly audible and visible to you, please. Make use of the chat box and let me know. Am I clearly audible and visible? Yes. Yes, so okay, instead of raising hands, you can make use of the chat box constantly if I'm clearly audible and visible to you. So Mohan Raj, you can post your query in the chat box because you will not be able to unmute yourself since this is a 1 hour session. So we have less time for interaction, but feel free to make use of the chat box, whatever you wish to ask or say or comment in during the session, right? So welcome to the content writing workshop by Henry Harvin Education. My name is Vandana Saxena, and I will be your trainer for the next 1 hour. During the next 1 hour, we are going to learn a few basics about content writing, how to write, what to write, who is your target audience, understanding your niche. We will talk about the language skills. We will talk about the internet skills. We will talk about how talk about the search engine optimization and everything. Before we move on, I would request everyone to please put your introduction or write your introduction in the first 2-3 lines into the chat box, right? So write what you do, why, what you have been doing so far, and why content writing for you. Why do you want to write content? Why do you want to learn content writing? And what is that specific that you would want to learn in 1 hour? So make use of the chat box because we are going to make this session a little interactive. So you have to write an introduction about yourself, saying what you do and why content writing, what you want to learn about content writing. Meanwhile, I'll quickly introduce myself. By discipline, I am an HR professional, a content writer, and a soft skills trainer. I have been working with Henry Harvin for more than 2.5 years and taking courses in the Writing Academy. I take content writing, I take creative writing, and I take digital writing, digital marketing. My content is being widely published on internet with my blog having more than 10 million views, right? And I unleash my creative side through my stories and poetry, which is being published on Mom's Press or Women's Web, Penmancy, and a lot more. For my writing skills, I have also won a few awards, and for my training skills also. So I won the Women in Corporate Awards from Women's Web twice in a row, 2021 and 2020. And other than that, I have also won a few of Best Blogger Award from Asian Literary Society and so on. So the list is long. If you wish to know more about me, you can simply Google my name and you'll get more information. So I'm waiting for your introduction. So I see Ramyani has joined us from YouTube. If you are on YouTube, you can make use of the live chat and write your introductions. I have the access to the live chat as well. So Rishi says, I'm a creative writer and I'm interested in expanding my writing to content writing and business writing. I am Shiv Sharma. I am IIT professional. I want to write a book and a blog. So you want to be a published author. All right, so moving on. Anybody else who wants to share the introduction? Meanwhile, we'll talk about something about Henry Harvin, what Henry Harvin is all about and what you can become once you have, or what kind of roles you will have once you learn content writing. You can be a published author, you can be a blogger, you can be a ghostwriter. As content writer, most of the writing assignments that you do is ghostwriting. Ghostwriting is where you do not get the credit for writing, but you get paid for it. So digital content writer, you can work for a PR agency, you can be a digital influencer, you can be a copywriter and all of that, right? And these are the industries. Though these days marketing is now digital, it is no more physical. So you can work, any company or any industry would need digital marketing. And what you market in the digital world is actually the content, nothing else. So you can work anywhere in PR industry, IT industry, any of the digital marketing agencies, media agencies. You know, you can be a creative writer, you can work for an e-commerce company and much more. So I'm still waiting for introductions. Anybody who wants to write an introduction, I will take it through for next 2 minutes. Otherwise, we can start. Are we good to go? Make use of the chat box. Keep asking questions. If you wish to ask any question, any concept, anything that you want to know, you can feel free to make use of the chat box. Now let's just start with this. Since this is going to be an interactive workshop, I would request everyone to make consistent use of the chat box, please. So what, according to you, is content? What is content according to you? So I would request everyone to please make use of the chat box. What is content according to you? What do you think is content? Information. Wonderful. What else? Somebody said information. Yes. What else? Rishi, I will take up your question later. I have got your question. How is content writing different from digital writing? That we will talk up later. But then what is content? Let's just start with the basics first. What is content? Information. Somebody said information. What else? So if you are reading a blog, how I lost 20 kgs in 3 months, what are you reading? Are you reading someone's information? No, not really. What are you reading? If you're reading a blog, how I have lost 20 kgs in 3 months, are you reading information? Yes or no? If not information, what you are reading? Make consistent use of the chat box, please. You are reading an experience. Somebody is sharing the experience. When you are reading an English grammar book, what are you reading? You are reading knowledge. When you are, that's the facts about their life and experience. Wonderful, Samrat. Yes. And when you are reading a story or poetry, what are you reading? Information, experience, knowledge. What are you reading? What are you reading as if you are reading a story or poetry? Go on, please make consistent use of the chat box. You are reading creativity, a message, a lesson. So content is anything between information, experience, knowledge, and creativity. So whenever you are writing content, you need to ensure that you are sharing at least one of these. These 4 things set the purpose of your content, why you are writing content. So before writing content, you should definitely know why am I writing content, because these 4 will set your purpose. You can blend the 2 of them. There can be one primary purpose and there can be one secondary purpose. So if you are reading a blog, 5 ways to write a catchy headline. What are you reading? Information, creativity, knowledge, or experience? There can be 2 also. Make consistent use of the chat box, please. When you are reading a blog, 5 ways to write a catchy headline. Supposedly you are reading this blog. You are reading this blog. What are you reading out of these? Am I writing information or I am writing experience? Am I writing knowledge or am I writing creativity? Go on, move on, please. You are reading knowledge, not necessarily, right? So you are reading information which is entwined with knowledge or experience, anything. So these 4 will define the purpose of your content. So you should know the purpose of your content before writing it. So once you know the purpose of your content, what is the next thing that you should know about before writing content? What is the next thing that you should talk about or that you should know as a writer? Go on. What is the next thing that you should think about as a writer? If you know the purpose of your content, supposedly you are writing a parenting blog, your purpose is sharing experience or information. The detailed matter, main description, and the theme. Okay, anything else? Anything else? The detailed matter, main description, or the theme. So if you're writing a parenting blog, who's going to read it? Get to the chat boxes, please. If you're writing a parenting blog, who's going to read it? If you're writing a parenting blog, who will read it? Parenting blog will be read by? Get to the chat boxes, please. A parenting blog will be other parents, definitely. If you're writing a fitness blog, the blog will be read by fitness enthusiasts. The next thing that you should know is your target audience. Why are you writing content and who is gonna read it? These are the two most important things that you should know. Moreover, they will be read by parents, teachers, and caretakers. Definitely that will be read by parents, teachers, and caretakers, right? So you should know the purpose. These four will set the purpose of your content, and this is imperative for you to decide before writing content. So this is how you know. So target audience and your purpose. So once you have your purpose, so these are the prime requisites of content writing, if I may talk about, that you should know the purpose of your content and you should know the target audience. And then once you have decided the purpose and the target audience of your content, what you need to do is communicate. What is communication? Get to the chat boxes. What is communication? I am speaking and you are hearing. Is it communication? Yes or no? Get to the chat boxes. Am I, when I'm speaking and you are listening to me or hearing me, is this communication? Okay, you need to be interactive in the chat box, because otherwise, yes, this is communication. Okay, who else? This is communication or not? The two-way successful scalar chain value is called conversation. Okay. No, this is not communication. Okay, all right. No, this is not communication. So you are saying that this is not communication. When I am speaking and you are listening, this is not communication. What is communication? Communication is what I mean to say, what I have said should be decoded by the listener exactly the way I wish to convey. There should not be any ambiguity. So this is about speaking and listening. But when we talk about writing, how do you communicate with your audience? So let me just give you one example. Supposedly you're writing a blog or an article that how to keep your house or kitchen pest free, and you write a sentence saying, you know, you must remove all the Tupperware from the kitchen. Okay, so I'll just move it here. From the kitchen and clean it often. Maybe you're writing a story or something. The father adopted the boy and he was happy. So can you tell me what does it stand for in this sentence? What you should remove and clean from the kitchen? It is meant for Tupperware or the kitchen? Tell me, get to the chat boxes. It is meant kitchen. Okay, what else? Anybody else? Is it for the kitchen or is it for the Tupperware? Tupperware, kitchen. So few of you are saying that it is Tupperware and few of you are saying it is for the kitchen. Those who are on the YouTube, you can make use of the, right? You can make use of the live chat there. So some few of you are saying that it is for the kitchen and few of you are saying it. Why you are not able to, why all of you are not on the same page? Because the clarity about it is missing. It can stand for Tupperware and it can stand for kitchen as well. This is called vague writing or abstract writing, or what we call ambiguous writing. You are not communicating well with the reader. Now look at the same sentence. You must remove and clean all the Tupperware from the kitchen to keep it pest free. Which one is better, the first one or the second one? Get to the chat boxes. The first one or the second one? Get to the chat boxes, the first one or the second one. So you are giving a better idea here. You have clarified that you have to remove and clean all the Tupperware. So the first sentence is not communicating with the reader, whereas the second sentence is communicating with the reader. Now read the second sentence. The father adopted the boy and he was happy. Can you tell me who was happy? By the way, this writing mistake is called missing antecedent. This writing mistake is called missing antecedent. When you have missed the antecedent of the noun, right? It becomes a missing antecedent. I would request everyone to not please use the screen for anything else. The father adopted the boy and he was happy. Can you tell me who is happy? Father. How come you say that father? Somebody is saying boy. All right, because this is again a vague information. This is called sentence fragment. This is unfortunately called the sentence fragment because the pronoun here is not clear. The subject here is not clear. Now you say the father adopted the boy and the boy was happy. Is this better? Am I clarifying who's being happy? Yes or no? Is this clear to you? Better but longer. Now you rewrite is, remove this was and write felt. Better? Which works better? The first one, you write felt. Instead of was, you just delete it and write felt. What works better? Felt, obviously. So another writing hack is use concrete verbs and adjectives. Use concrete verbs. I am taking responsibility, or whatever you say, I am taking responsibility for writing content, and you say I am responsible for writing content. Which one works better? The first one or the second one? I am responsible for writing content. The first one or the second one? Definitely the second one. I am responsible for writing content, and I am taking responsibility for writing content, and I am responsible for writing content. These are two things. But when you are using concrete verbs, it adds a lot of value to your content, right? So this is what the first objective of your writing should be, that you have to be concrete and you have to communicate well with your target audience. How do you communicate? You should not write abstract words. What are abstract words? Things, very, just, suddenly. These are abstract. They only add weight to your writing. I have joined a new, or say a writing course and learned some new things, and you say I have joined a writing workshop and learned some new writing hacks. Which one works better? This is called vague. Things is vague. Never write things in your content. This is called vague writing, whereas this one is called writing hack. This is called concrete writing. Be concrete with your words. So this, so those who are raising hands, you can please put your questions in the chat box, because I will not be able to unmute you. You can just put your questions in the chat box and I will take them up in the end, right? So last 15 minutes will be kept only for the question answers, but you can keep it. You can keep posting your questions in the chat box. I have joined a writing workshop and learned some new writing hacks, whereas you write, I have joined a writing course and learned some new things. So things is always called abstract writing, whereas this is called concrete writing. So as content writers, ensure that you write concrete verbs. Delete very from your content. I am a very good writer, and I am an excellent writer. What works better, the first one or the second one? These are called power writing rules. Yes, the second one works better. So there is one word for a lot of, you can say very good is excellent, very noisy is deafening, very old is ancient, very painful is excruciating. So I see a few people writing excruciating pain. Excruciating is actually, the pain will become redundant here. Only excruciating is enough, because excruciating is too much pain. So you have to be careful about usage of the words. Use the right word, not the difficult word. So instead of, you can use simple words as well. I went back to my desk. How can you delete it and write it in one word? I returned to my desk. The writing is an in-depth study of language skills, and you write, writing is a detailed. Instead of in-depth, you can use detail. Use simpler words use simpler words, but do not use difficult words. The idea is to communicate. How many of you feel that if I use a difficult word, I will look like a better writer? No, it doesn't work this way. It has to be the right word in the right place. The writing is an in-depth study of language skills, and the writing is a detailed study of the language skills. So coming to the language skills, any questions, anyone until now? I will be glad to answer any questions if you have. I give you 2 minutes to recap of anything take a quick recap of everything that has been taught up till now. You may feel free to ask any questions on the word power or anything. So few people have raised hands. Do that if you have any questions. Otherwise, we'll move on. Okay, right. So moving on, when we talk about the language skills, you must use the right or consistent English. What do I mean by consistent English? What is consistency in English? Majorly, we use British versus American English. So if you are writing for any of the Asian or European countries, preferably use the British English. Do not use the American English, because Britishers say that Americans don't speak English, they speak American. So British is actually something that you have to understand, that you have to make consistently. So you can't be writing. Okay, now before we move on, what is the difference between the British versus American English? What is the difference between the British and the American English? What is the difference? So I'm sharing a link with you. British accent. Yes. Anybody else? Yes. Anybody else? Anybody else? Accent is one. Spellings. How do you spell utilize in British? And see, this is a difference, that there is a difference in terminologies. So we call it trainers and they call it sneakers. There's a difference. Waistcoat and vest, braces and suspenders, chips and French fries, crisp. And so you have to ensure that you know the British version. So color will be spelled in a British English with U, whereas in American English, labor, favor, everything that is OUR becomes OR. In American English, we do not use O. So you have to remain consistent. We call it aeroplane and they call it airplane. Then we call it check. And this is written as check in American English. Theater, meter, all of that will be, this is the British English and this is the American English. Gray is spelled with gray in American English. So you should know the difference between the two. So in British English, this is called as aubergine. And this is American English, it is called as eggplant. What is brinjal? Can somebody tell me? What is brinjal? Can somebody tell me what is brinjal? I am sharing the link. You may just go through this. So what is brinjal? Brinjal is Indian English. So preferably do not use the Indian English, right? Similarly, lady finger is the Indian English. We use okra, actually. The real name is okra. So this is the difference between the two. This is called flat. This is called an apartment, the floors. So you should know the difference between the British and the American English. If you are writing for any of the European or Asian countries, preferably use the British English. For American Canadian countries, you should, when your target audience is American or Canadian countries, you should use the American English. So this is the difference between the two, but keep it consistent all through your content. Do not mix the two. It is not a great idea to mix the two. So that is the first thing that you should do. The next thing is use one word preferably in place of many, because at times as content writers, you will have a limitation on words. Supposedly you have to write a blog within like 600 to 800 words, or your article has to be written within 2000 words. So you have to delete the dead weight. What is the dead weight? One is very just absolutely adverbs. Remove the adverbs. There is a famous writer by the name of Stephen King who says that the way to hell was paved by adverbs. So do not use adverbs in your writing. It is a simple rule. So if you say that she was walking slowly and I say she was ambling, what works better, the first one or the second one? First one or the second one? Obviously, the second one, those who are on the YouTube, second one, yes. So Afreen says that she was ambling. This is, so do not use, delete the adverbs, delete the redundant phrases. Redundant phrases, redundant phrases. What are the redundant phrases? Free gift, what you should delete out of it? Gift comes for a cost ever? Does a gift come for a cost? Never. So this should be deleted. Gift is enough. General, I received a free gift and I received a gift. Is there a difference between the two? I received a free gift and I received a gift. There is no difference between the two. So try using only the gift and not the free gift. Added bonus, added perks. These are all redundant phrases. Armed gunman mixed together. So if I say that supposedly you're writing a recipe or a food blog, take all the ingredients and mix them together. This becomes a redundant phrase. If I delete together, does it change the meaning of the sentence? Does it change the meaning of the sentence anywhere? It doesn't. So delete every word in your content that is not making sense, that is not adding value and adding only the weight to your writing. Do not use that. That will not work with you, right? So this is something that you have to ensure while writing. The next thing, so we have covered this. What is content? Content is information, experience, knowledge, and creativity. You should know your target audience before you try to write content. Okay. The next thing that we are coming up to, how to become a writer. The first thing that you have to ensure to become a writer is to read. How many of you read? How many of you are into reading? You can read anything. So if you read books, it is wonderful. If you do not read books, read everything that comes into your hand. Why? Why reading is imperative for writers? Because reading is like breathing in and writing is like breathing out. You can end up learning a new word. You can end up learning a new writing style. You can end up learning a new writing technique, a phrase, anything. If you don't read, you will always be short of ideas. Write extempore. Write as much as you can. Write something every day and read something every day. Read something, absorb something and write, but never copy. Steal the idea, but never copy the content. Never. That is called plagiarism. So if you plagiarize content, you will not be able to go a long way, right? So you should know your purpose. You should know your target audience. You should know the communication, how to communicate with your target audience, and you should know the language skills. So when it comes to language skills are meant to enhance the readability of your content. How do you enhance the readability of your content with the language skills? The first thing is subject verb agreement that you need to know, which is, if I say your verb should always agree with the subject. Okay, let's say what you should put here, I or me, and why. I or me, and why. Get to the chat boxes, please, everyone. So if you're not using or making use of the chat box, I believe that I am not clearly audible to you, or do you don't want to learn? So, okay, why? If you say I, why it has to be I and not me? Why it has to be I and not me? Why I and not me? It has to be I indeed, because this is the subject. In place of the subject, you have to ensure that you use I and not me. So when you say the rabbit chased me and Mira to the bushes, this is where you will use me, because you are the object here. In the place of the object, me will be used, whereas in place of the subject, I will be used. Ensure. So if you're confused ever, just delete the other subject and you will get the answer. You will never write me chased the rabbit. You will also say I. You will always say I chased the rabbit. So Meera and I chase the rabbit. So these are the small writing mistakes that we end up doing in our content if we are not paying attention to the subject verb agreement, right? So the next thing that you should do in or pay attention to is punctuation rules. Ensure that you are using the right punctuation. How do you use the right punctuation? Let's eat grandma. There is a missing comma. Who are you eating? Who are you eating? There's a missing comma. What do you understand? And I write the same phrase like this. Let's eat grandma. Which one is correct and why? Which one is correct and why? Get to the chat boxes. Which one is correct and why? In which phrase you are eating the grandma? In which phrase you are eating the grandma? If you miss this comma, you end up eating your grandma. This is, yeah, the punctuation mark plays an important role in communication. If you're not placing your punctuation right, your content will be misinterpreted by the reader. And this will not be a quality content. So I give you one more example, $25 bills. And I say 25 dollar bills. Which one has 20? Which one has 100? The first one or the second one? There are $100 in one sentence. Pay attention to the punctuation, you will get the answer. Pay attention to the punctuation, you will get the answer. $25 bill and $25 bill. Two similar sentences with the similar words, but with the punctuation mark, there is a lot of difference. Which one has $100? The first one or the second one? The first one will have $100, whereas the other one will have only $25. Same words used in the sentence, but the punctuation marks made a lot of difference. Ensure that you punctuate your sentences right, because if you are not punctuating your sentences right, it will not work or go down well with your reader, or you will not be able to communicate with your reader. Pronounce every word right. Now, I want you to get to the chat boxes and write the spelling of vacuum. Get to the chat boxes, everyone, please, and write the spelling of vacuum. I would request everyone. Vacuum. Okay, yes, go on. There's only 1 or 2 participants who are participating. Get to the chat boxes. Yes. As content writers, you must pronounce every word right. Why? Because if you're pronouncing it wrong, you are eventually write it wrong, and you will have to depend on a tool to correct it. So writers never depend on tool. Right? So there are tools, but then you cannot depend on the tools to become writers. You need to know the spellings well. So vacuum is spelled this way, not this way. Vacuum. You pronounce it as vacuum and give an emphasis on C. That is why you write double C. How do you pronounce this? This is called epitome. This is called cache. This is called gauge. This is called gauge. You know the pronunciations right so that you can pronounce every word right. Download this app called dictionary.com, available for Androids and iPhone. You can go here in the end and you can subscribe for the word of the day. You will end up receiving a word every day. By the end of the month, you will only be able to remember 2 of them. But by the end of the year, you will be richer by, your vocabulary will be richer by 24 words, which is important. So to improve your vocabulary, you can just use the tool called dictionary.com, and you can download the app as well. There is a word of the day which is called churrasco. What is the meaning of churrasco, how it is used? Then there is a dictionary for slang, emoji, and gender and sexuality dictionary. Everything that is meant, or every word that is meant for internet or the language, will be found here. You can see the pronunciation also. This is called epitome, not epitome. A lot of people pronounce it as epitome, which is wrong. This is pronounced as cache, not cache, right? So pronounce every word right so that you eventually end up writing it right. Fine. So this is called the word power. Try to use one word for many things, many words. So Hindu women apply or stick Supposedly you are writing a, mythology blog, or I would not say Hindu women, this would be little this thing. So women stick a bindi or wear a bindi, let's say, wear a bindi between her eyebrows. What is that? Can you write it, cut it short to 2 words, 3 words, 4 words? Anybody can do that? And you write the same thing with this at the glabella. So the space between your eyebrows is called glabella. The ability, like there are too many words that you can use one word for too many words, which is like oresi. Oresi is another word that you can use as one word for many things, which is, the ability to speak well. I am ability to speak well is called oresi, right? Paying attention is called heed, is called heed. You can replace it with one word, use concrete words, right? She was squabbling about nothing. So squabbling is getting into an argument for no reason or for irrelevant issues is called squabbling. So you can always use one word for one tense. Rest one word for many words, and you can make your content look crisp, clear, and catchy. The next thing is that how to write catchy content. You need to ensure that tense is right. Where do you use, okay, let's say, Smriti has come to work today. I have seen her. And Smriti came to work today. I saw her. Which one is, the idea is the same. Which one is correct and why? Get to the chat boxes. This is written in past perfect tense. Sorry, present perfect tense. Present perfect tense. And this one is written in past tense. Which one is correct and why? Get to the chat box. Which one is correct and why? Smriti has come to work today, or you can say Smriti came to work today. I have seen her. Get to the chat boxes. Which one is correct and why? The present perfect tense. The first one is written in the present perfect tense, and the second one is written in the past tense. But we are talking about the past tense. It has to be in the past tense only. So when I say Smriti came to work today, I saw her. Which one is correct? This one is correct, or this one is correct, and why? The present perfect is correct. So somebody says that the present perfect is correct. However, the present perfect tense is only used for incomplete actions mostly. So when you say I have seen her, it means that she is still there in the office or in the work. She's still there at work. But when we say this, that means you are not sure whether she's there or not. She may have already left, right? So this is always used for, do not use the present perfect tense for any other reason. It is only used for incomplete action. So when you're using a present perfect tense, ensure that your content has incomplete actions in the sentence. So tense are indeed important. So we can talk about this in the detailed content writing course. The detailed content writing course talks about, these are the modules we take up: detailed language skills, internet skills. There are other content types like business and marketing writing. You can also know about how to earn online and get international writing assignments. What is a content strategy? How do you write an email? How do you write technical and research content? What is copywriting? How to do creative writing and academic writing? All this will be covered in a detailed writing course from Henry Harvin Education. So these are the types of content writing. You can write web content, which is based on, when we talk about the web content, what is the first thing that you do when you go to the web? You go to Google. So I want you to do some research. Go to Google and write Kangana Ranaut blog. See what is getting on, what are you getting on top? Get to the chat boxes, everyone, or go to Google, please. Kangana Ranaut blog. Go to Google and see and write Kangana Ranaut blog. Or you can make another research, power writing rules for content industry. What do you get on top? Make a research or make a search called power writing rules for content industry. Go to Google and make a search, power writing rules for content industry. Do that. I allow you 2 minutes to do it. What are you getting on top? How many results you are getting? You are getting, okay, I'm bad at numbers. So you are getting somewhere around 38 crore, 60 lakh results, right? And what are you getting on top? On the first page, there are 2 of my blogs which are trending on the first page. They are trending on the first page. They're trending on the first page. Can you see all of that? All of you? Say yes in the chat box if you are able to see it. I can give you more examples as well. You can go here and write persuasive power words to boost your sale. Make a simple keyword research, persuasive power words to boost your sale. See, the other blog, which is my blog, is again ranking on the first page. You can also make another research, which is hacks to write a catchy headline. So you can still find my content on the first page. How many of you go to the second or the third page of Google after making a search? How many of you go to the first, to the second or the third page after making a Google search? How many of you do that? Okay. No one, I guess. No one does that. We do not go to the second or the third page. So while the language skills will enhance the readability of your content, the ability of your content, the internet skills, or what you call the digital skills, will enhance the searchability of your content. Because the searchability is indeed important, because if your content is not searchable or not appearing on the first page of Google, it is not reaching your target audience. So because not many people go beyond the first page or second page or third page, maximum, I guess, people go to second page only, right? So you have to ensure that you blend. So what we do now, let's just understand the digital a bit. This is Google. How many of you know Google? I think everybody. Let me tell you that the 95% of search on internet happens on Google. So Google is the prime search engine. So Google is a search engine. So when you put Kangana Ranaut blog, this becomes a search query, or what we call is a short tail keyword. So you put a keyword, and the keyword will show you the results. So to come on the top, or to make your content appear on the top, you have to blend this keyword well in your content. So when I say hacks to write a catchy headline, right? Hacks to write a catchy headline. So this means the content, this is called a long tail keyword, which will give you more specific results. So the long tail keyword has to be blended in your content well, so that your content appears on the first page of Google. But before you learn how to blend the keyword into your content, you should know what people are searching on Google. How do you know what people are searching on Google? Can anybody give me an example? How do you know what people are searching on Google? Can anybody make use of the chat box? How do you know what people are searching on Google? Is there any way to find out? The first way to find out is, the moment you write something, hacks, can you see? This is called Google autocomplete. So whatever people are searching here, it will come on top, right? So once you make a Google search, the Google will automatically suggest the rest of the keywords. These are the best researched or best searched keywords that you can pick up. The next hack that you can use is keywords everywhere. Can you see this on the related keywords on right hand side? This has come from keywordseverywhere.com. You can add it to Chrome, and you can know what people are searching. For any of the long tail keyword, let's go to answerthepublic.com. So answerthepublic.com is a wonderful tool which talks about, supposedly you are writing an article about content writing, and you want to search what people are searching on Google. Can you see? This is what people are searching on Google. Can you see this? All of you? These are actually this is what people are searching on Google. You will get a lot of insight about Zero in your keywords and blend them well in your content. To write SEO content, how to write SEO content? You need to use the key phrase or keyword in title, first paragraph. Make the topic clear, right? Write it in first paragraph and use the related key phrases. Sprinkle it well through the content. So ensure that you are using the related key phrases. Supposedly your key phrase is catchy headline, right? So the related key phrase would be title, or you can say catchy title. It can be, it may not be the same, but it can be a related key phrase that you can blend into your content. So if you're writing a 500 word article, ensure, or 500 word content, ensure that you use the keywords at least twice or thrice, not more than that. Because if you use the keyword too much, it will not go down well, because ultimately it will be, the readability of your content will be compromised. So do not compromise the readability of your content when you are writing content. Use the keywords well, blend them well, and they should appear naturally in your content. They should not appear as if you are writing it again and again, or writing repeatedly, but not making sense. So that is what you have to ensure, that you have to sprinkle it well, and it should occur and appear naturally in your content. One more writing hack for language skills is use Grammarly.com, the grammar check tool. You can download it on your laptop, or you can download it on your phone, anything that you wish to do, but then you should use the tool often, because Grammarly.com really works well. You can copy and paste any content and it will show you how much you can work on it. So there is a free version, there is a paid version. I've been using a free version for quite some time, and it really works well. As long as you understand the language skills well, the Grammarly works perfectly well for you. So you can just go here and copy and paste your content. It will ask you to do, it will ask you to check the content or make the content visible to you and show you all the corrections in terms of punctuation. See, you can choose whether to use the British English or the American English. So I've chosen the British English here. So you can copy and paste your content here easily, and it will show you the grammar errors like this is showing here. But this, you cannot rely on the tool 100%, because this is a right preposition here, which is and this is showing it wrong, which is not the case, right? So it is showing it all wrong, which is not the case. This is the right preposition here. So it is not necessary that you can depend on Grammarly and become a content writer. You need to understand the technicalities of writing well. Okay. So moving on to the next topic. So you can write web content. Once you have learned the content writing course, you can do the write the web content. You can become a blogger, host. You can become a ghostwriter. You can write social media content, ad and sales copy. You can be an expert. All of these forms of writing that you can do. Okay. So a few things, or the pillars of content writing, is editing. Editing is something which you rephrase, redo, restructure your content and make some flow and maintain the flow in your content, which is important. The other one is the tone and the style of your content. So what are the writing styles that we talk about? There are primarily 4 types of writing style: expository, persuasive. There are 4 types of writing style that we use in content writing: expository, persuasive, descriptive, and narrative. So expository writing style is used when you are trying to explain something. Supposedly, most of the how-to articles are written in expository writing style, like how to write content, how to become, or how to how to build your website, how to build a web page, will always be written in an expository writing style. So whenever you are trying to explain something, it will always be written in expository writing style. Most of the recipes will be written in expository writing style. Persuasive writing style, most of the sales and marketing writing is done in persuasive writing style, because it has a call to action, which is called CTA. CTA is buy now. So when you go to Amazon, let's just say go to Amazon and you try buying anything, supposedly you want to buy a watch, say women watches, and you go here and you buy some watch, you see here, the first thing that you see is add to cart and buy now. These are called call to actions. That means the writer is calling you to take an action. So the persuasive writing style is always used for sales and marketing writing, where you have to add a call to action. The persuasive writing is never complete without the call to action. You should ensure to add a call to action or a CTA. There, descriptive writing style. So when you go to Amazon, you read the product descriptions. So this is written in descriptive writing style, where a lot of details are added about a particular thing and given. Narrative writing style, most of the press releases or news stories are written in narrative writing style. Narrative writing style is something that that you narrate what has happened. Like if I talk about Mahabharat, it will always be the event or the flow of event will not change, but will always be written or narrated. So the history will always be narrated. You can add your opinion, but you cannot change the flow of events or the event that has happened. You cannot change the entire story. So this is always written in narrative writing style. So there are primarily 4 types of writing styles that you should do. If you say, now coming on to the tones, tones is something that set the mood, attitude, and everything. So tones in writing are, I say, do not walk on the grass, and I say, kindly use the pathways only. Am I giving a different message in both the lines? Make use of the chat box, please. Am I giving a different message in both the lines? I am not. Indeed, I am not. But this is a negative tone, whereas this is a negative, or what you call an authoritative tone, whereas this one is a positive and pleading tone. So tone will set the mood and the attitude of the writer, because most of the emotions you express to your reader is through tones. So we are nearing the end of the workshop. I would request everyone, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. You can make use of the chat box. Somebody had asked a question earlier, but I couldn't take it up then. You can send it now. So I will take last 5 minutes for the questions only. Meanwhile, let's just move on to the other things. So we have discussed about, work within your limits, because you have limited word count. So you have to ensure that you do not go too much with the words. You have to ensure the right word at the right place. Edit your text well. Try to write it crisp, clear, and catchy. Understand your subject, theme, and business. So these are the topics of internet skills that will be covered in the detailed content writing course. We will cover everything starting from Grammarly, Creative Commons, copyrights. This is too technical for this, maybe too technical for you right now, but then we will cover all of this. How to write a catchy headline, how to choose a brand voice, how to establish tone and writing style. All of that we will understand in the detailed content writing course. The Google world, the search engine optimization, how to research a keyword well and how to use it. These will be the other topics that will be covered in the detailed content writing course, like creative writing, the informal form of writing, article or blog writing. There's a difference between an article or blog. Technical writing, academic writing, medical writing, copywriting, SEO writing, and branding content. So content strategy and everything. So let me just talk about Henry Harvin a bit before I take up the questions. If you have any questions, you can make use of the chat box. So Henry Harvin has already delivered an instructor-led training to a client base of more than 30,000 learners and a self-paced training to more than 2 lakh learners. We are providing 80 plus courses, and we have partnered with more than 150 corporates and more than 80 colleges across India. So these are the program features, the 36 hours of live training session. It will be an interactive session. There will be 12 bootcamp sessions, which will happen or occur monthly, that you can take up with Henry Harvin. There will be a membership of Henry Harvin Writing Academy, engaging assignments and projects. So there will be a lot of writing assignments you have to do, since this will be a writing course. And then there will be an internship opportunity. You also get the you also get to, after the completion of the internship, you will also get the assistance. You will get the job alerts that wherever a position is open, you will get the alerts and you can apply accordingly. So during the course, you will learn all the requisites or the nitty-gritties of content writing. You will use all the techniques to build a successful content writing career and understand the writing concepts to equate to your own work. Whether you are working already, whether you are learning or you are still in college, writing is something which is imperative these days because there is no other way to market in the digital world. So wherever you go, if you go to Google and you type something or make a search query, what you get is content. On Amazon, there is content. On OTT platforms, there is content. If the content is not there, the search will not happen. So content is of three types: images, video, and audio. Three of the content are meant to be supported by the written content, because anything that you need to find on YouTube requires a search query in written form. Anything that you want to find on Spotify requires a search query in the written form. None of the video, image, or audio content can survive on internet without the written content. So written content or content writing has no shelf life. Always remember that. So let me just give you the program details. So there will be a lot of things that you can do. The batch starts, the new fresh batches are starting from 15 June, 18th June, and 21st June. If you wish to talk to a relationship manager, or if you wish to talk to a counselor at Henry Harvin Education, you can call 98919 53953. I am here with the screen. You can take a screenshot of this if you wish to. If you wish to join the course now, you can just take a screenshot from here and you can write to hello@henryharvin.com, or you can call 98919 53953. For course related query, you can also call 9015266266. So I'll be glad to take up any questions if you have, or I can go on with another topic too. So there was a question in the beginning. So somebody asked me, what is the difference between content writing and digital writing? Content is digital. Even the Times of India is on an app right now. We don't, how many of you get to the magazines in the physical form? Everything is digital. So the writing is digital these days. Unless your content is available on Google on the first page, you will not reach your target audience. So there is nothing called digital writing. Content writing, content can be written in the physical or the digital form. But when you are writing it for the digital media, which is 90% of the time you write content for the digital media, this means you are writing digital content. So the content can be digital or physical. So there is nothing called digital writing. There is something called content marketing. All right. Anybody else having any other questions? I will be glad to take up any questions if you have. Okay, so better, but okay, so yes, so I will be glad to take up any questions if you have. You can follow Henry Harvin on their social media pages, which is like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube, you can follow their channel or subscribe to their channel because a lot of workshops keep happening on YouTube. Okay, so there is anybody else? How can I improve the language skills? Keep writing something every day and keep reading something every day. Read everything that is coming into your hand, including the description on the bottle of your shampoo. This is how you improve your language skills. Speak the right English, because if you're not speaking the right English, you will not be able to improve your language skills. Please update about creative writing. Creative writing and content writing are two different things. Content writing makes you think of your target audience first. However, creative writing is always meant for the writer. So content writing is the reader's perspective, whereas creative writing is the writer's perspective. You never think about your target audience when you are writing a story. You write what you imagine and let the reader interpret his or her own version. So creative writing is more about, we do away with a lot of writing rules in creative writing. Not really the language rules, but there are content writing rules that we follow for the industry that we do away when we are writing stories and poetry. So creative writing is the best form of writing because it unleashes your creative juices. And as English teacher, will it be useful for teaching kids creative writing? So you should better join a creative writing course. If you want to use want to understand creative writing, you should join a creative writing course. Content writing is more business oriented, right? So this is the difference between the two. Yeah. Any more questions, anyone? Any more questions, anyone? So you can, I'm repeating, you can call 9015266266, or you can WhatsApp 9891953953 if you wish to join the course. If you have any questions, right, read something every day. I would request all of you to please share a feedback of the workshop in the chat box. I'm sure you can. I would request all of you to please share. I hope all of you enjoyed the workshop. Please share a feedback for the workshop. Or we can wrap it up here. I will take it to Henry Harvin now. So yes, please share the feedback of the workshop. I hope all of you enjoyed the workshop. Make use of the chat box, please. I can see the direct messages. You can see the send the public messages as well. So thank you everyone, those who have joined the workshop, or yes. Thank you everyone. So this is indeed wonderful to teach you. You have been a wonderful audience. Thank you everyone for joining in. Okay, how do you remember complex words? Because I use them often in my speech. So you can't be taken aback when people say that aapne naya seekha hai. I hope you understand Hindi. So when you learn a new word and use it often in your speech, most people tell you that have you learned it new? Why are you using it again and again? Or why are you repeating it in your speech? You say that yes, I can, yes, I have learned it new, so that you remember it. So you can speak it in your, this is how I use or remember complex words, because I use them in my speech the next day, or I use them in my writing. That is how I remember it. The course fee will not be something that I can answer here. You have to call up the given numbers to know the course fee. Even if you find my phone number from internet, I will not be able to help you on any of the course fees, course structure, nothing. You need to call the given numbers only. Please, I will not be able to help you on anything. I do not take care of the back end. I have no information about the course structure. I have no information about the course fee, which is happening, the batch dates, or what are the upcoming batch. For now, the upcoming batches are 15th, 18th, and 21st June. You can pick up your batch right now. All right. So I won't be able to. However, thank you for joining in, and I'm signing off.